Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
A lot of people expected revenge. They were a huge favorite at home tonight. They have just taken the lead. They're up 53-52 with 12 minutes to play. But before we clicked record tonight, guys, we were talking behind the scenes about whether or not we should trust this team. Matt McCall, I'd like to throw it to you first. Do you trust the Arizona Wildcats right now?
Well, you're trying to hit the panic button. They just took the lead. There's a lot of basketball left to be played here. Okay, we got 11 minutes and 52 seconds, and we're all sitting here panicking that they're going to drop this game. Trust is such a hard word. And I mean, what's trust mean? Do we think they can get to Phoenix?
He started backing up. Did you hear him backing up off that one? He started off strong. He had to back up.
Like,
he came up
such
strong.
a hard word. Do we think they can make a Final Four? Are they going to Phoenix? Do they make a run in the tournament? What's trust?
You came out hitting the gas, Matt. You was on the gas hard, man. Oh, it was just 12 minutes left, man. And then
Trust is this. Trust is this. Are they a national championship contender? Are they a national title contender?
No.
Yes or no?
No, I don't think so. No. I think they're a good team. I think they can make a run in the tournament. I think they can get hot. I think Tommy Lloyd's a great coach, but I think there's two national championship contenders right now. I think that's it. I think Carolina you could put in that category, and Houston could be right there. You could throw them as national championship contenders, but I think it's a two-horse race. And I think Arizona's just lacked the consistency. You know, we saw them lose to FAU earlier in the season, and we've all been high on FAU, but we've seen them have struggles at times this year too. I just think they've just been inconsistent to be able to call them a national championship contender.
Okay, very fair. RC, before I throw it to you,
right.
No. I want to set the table with just this from Stanford real quick. So 100 points Stanford hung on them last time. Tonight they roll out 45 points in the first half from Stanford. To me, it's defensive questions. I don't question anything offensively with this team, but is that spot on, or where are you at with the Wildcats?
I think we both said the same thing with that. Now, I will say this. They gave up 45, and you were kind of like, what are they doing? This is the inconsistent team that we've seen, and something happened at 3 minutes to go, because I turned it off thinking, man, they're going to go over 50, and then they didn't score another point. And then they came up the second half. They're outscoring them 19-7 in the second half, and they've taken the lead. So they're just showing you what they're capable of. Their backcourt has been ridiculously inconsistent, but they're talented enough to make a Final Four run. And I think that, like you said, the two favorites got to be UConn and Purdue. But I think they belong right there in that next group of teams, whether it's Houston, Carolina, whoever you have in that next group. I think Arizona belongs right there. They can turn it on. We've seen them do it. We've seen them play at a very high level. But the consistency in their backcourt has some concerns. And it's just overall defensive end of the floor. I mean, Stanford came out today. They were 50%, 40% from three. And if they're going to give up those numbers, I thought they would elite defensively when I saw them at Duke. They were getting over. They were competing on the defensive end of the floor. Their guards are big and physical. And then somewhere down the line, I don't know what's happened. They just seem to, as a team, and I said this about Arizona, and I often say this about a bunch of teams as well. When teams go take that travel, or when they travel on those foreign trips, you start practicing in like late July, August for those things. Those teams come out stronger at the start of the year, but you also feel that crap come this time of the year now as you come in and leaking a little oil, trying to get to a pit stop, get a little break a little bit, because your guys have been at it since, it hasn't been 4-month season. It's been an 8-month season so far for them.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
It's a really good point. You like that point, McCall? You're like right in line with RC right now. You like that?
Yeah. I just think it's a long season to begin with. I was talking to someone the other day about this too, just in terms of like the Big 12. I mean, these guys are beating each other up right now. Like, do we think that that's going to play a factor come March in the NCAA tournament with how these guys are just banging against each other? And the Big 12 is the best league in the country. But, like, do we think that may play a factor? Has that played a factor maybe in last year's NCAA tournament with the Big 10? Like, they're just beating each other up. And then these teams that go on these foreign tours and have been full-on practicing since, June it can weigh on you. It really can. And fatigue can become a factor. There's no question about it. Like when the rules changed where you can full on practice in the summertime, 5-on-5 workouts. Yeah, you don't have 20 hours a week. You're limited to what you can do, but you can flat out practice and put in your defense and press and do these types of things. And there's certain coaches that do it a lot and they don't do the individual instruction piece. Yeah, I think you look at some of these coaches' resumes when they get to the NCAA tournament that win 30 games a year and they lose in the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. It's like, all right, what are they doing over the summertime? Are their guys beat up? Does the league beat them up? I think there's something to be said for that.
So since we started this segment, which was the "Is it time to be worried about Arizona" segment, Arizona now has a 5-point lead. That's usually how this works, right? With that said, the word that RC used was inconsistent to describe the Arizona backcourt. Kylan Boswell has been a big part of those inconsistencies. He's just struggled compared to the guy he was in the first month of the season. I don't feel like I'm watching the same guy when I watch him play. And this might be a stretch. RC might call me after the show and be like, is your back okay from stretching this hard? But when I think inconsistent backcourts, RC, I think of Caleb Love backcourts. Is there anything with just Caleb Love being the guy you center your backcourt around that maybe is weighing on this backcourt?
Here he goes.
Of those two guys, only one of us has been benched. And I'm okay with a guy giving me 19 points a game, shooting 44, 45% as explosive as he can be, because I also know he's capable of winning me a game. Now, that's part of the adjustment that they have to do with that group. Let's just call it what it is. It's got to be Boswell. I mean, he's got to be the guy. If he plays the way high-level point guard play, this team can win a national championship. He's big, he's physical, he can shoot, he can get in the paint. There's not much physically that he can't do, but I think it has to start with him. If he can compete with the high, and he can, we've seen it from him. If he can play, I shouldn't say compete, if he can play at the level of some of the best point guards in the country, which he has the talent to do, then Arizona's right there because they got everything else. And we've seen this team be tough as hell, defend, which they are doing right now. The problem is they should have started the second half the way they started the first half. And they remind me of FAU in this aspect. They're playing like, man, we're going to cruise through our league. We ain't got to worry about it. And then we can hit the button come March and turn it on. And that's why I say what I say. But we've seen this backcourt play at a high level. If they do, they'll be playing at home.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.